Okay, welcome back to FNTV's coverage of MWC Barcelona, and I'm delighted to be in the Qualcomm booth here with John. John, great to see you another year here in Barcelona. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome. It's great to be here.
All right, John, so let's talk a little bit about 6G and all the work that's going into the spectrum. Why is it so important? Why is there such a big conversation about getting it right and getting it right from the start?
Yes, so 5G was a massive success, and we're seeing capabilities that 5G is supporting and enabling at its initial stages, particularly AI applications, XR applications. And in order for those to further scale, 6G is going to be a critical foundation on which those capabilities are going to be able to expand. We're seeing now AI is being deployed inside the networks to make them more efficient. AI is also going to be used through AI agents to perform functions for many of us in the background. That's going to drive a lot of activity. With regard to XR, what we're going to be seeing are applications where folks are going to be wearing XR-enabled eyewear and be sending data into the cloud. That's going to result in a massive need for uplink traffic. And the current 5G systems are not going to be able to support that without additional spectrum. So that's where our focus is, on opening up spectrum bands so that 6G can flourish. We actually started working on opening up spectrum for 6G literally in 2021 because we knew it was going to be challenging in order to do that because many of the bands are occupied by other users.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned there's some applications around AI, XR, lots here on display at your stand at MWC. How will winding that 6G spectrum help deliver those? And what are you talking about here with folks in Barcelona?
Yeah, so today the current 5G systems are kind of limited to, like, within a serving cell, you might be able to support a handful of XR-enabled eyewear, as an example. You may be able to support one or two users that are streaming video, live video from their glasses. With 6G, you'll be able to support dozens of users. And that is why it's critical. And the wide bandwidths for 6G are important because that's where you get the capacity. So 6G is going to be driven by increasing demands in mobile gaming, increasing demands in mobile video, XR, as well as many AI needs. We estimate that in 2033 to 2034, 30% of all traffic on the wireless area networks globally will be AI related, which is a lot of traffic, in addition to everything else that the networks carry.
Yeah, and just to close out, thinking about how we're getting around the spectrum and allocating it, we're talking industry, right? Qualcomm, major player, but this has to be collaborative with government, especially in the US where you're based. So can you talk a little bit about how that should work so that 6G does become a success?
Yes, that's a wonderful question. It is critically important that the wireless industry stakeholders work closely with the government in order to explore ways of opening up spectrum bands. There's been a lot of talk around sharing in a manner where the federal users can be protected and commercial users can access the spectrum and deploy. It's also important, at the same time we're looking at sharing, to also explore relocating federal incumbents. That opens up a number of opportunities. In particular, when you relocate federal users, they can potentially operate in less spectrum more efficiently and get newer equipment that performs better. So there's really an opportunity for a win-win, and I think that's where things are heading, and that's what we're trying to enable.
Excellent. Well, John, listen, thanks for having us here in your spectacular booth, and much success, and hope to see you again very soon.
Thank you very much, Alejandro.